up, crypto warriors? Sergeant Crypto back at it again. It's Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. It's been a couple of days since my last upload, and let's just get right into it. We have here on CoinGecko everything pretty much in the green, especially over the last 7 days, and we can see that it's because of Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin leading the charge as usual. Over the past 24 hours, we're seeing a few red here or there, just a few, but for the most part, the market has been up. All right, let's get right into it, folks. But before that, remember to come and claim your free Satoshis over here at Bitfury, link in the description. And I'm just going to be stacking sats on this site for the foreseeable future because, hey, it's free. And why not? If I'm going to be getting free sats, why shouldn't I just collect my free sats? There it is. Just did it. And it's stacking in my wallet. All right, coming out of AMB Crypto. Bank of England governor dismisses Bitcoin again. Oh my goodness. Oh, Bitcoin, we don't care about you. BOE Governor Andrew Bailey has yet again dismissed the premium cryptocurrency Bitcoin. He stated that he found it hard to see how Bitcoin had any intrinsic value. There go that magical word, intrinsic. On Monday, the BOE held a question and answer session with members of the public, during which the Governor Bailey made a statement. I have to be honest, it is hard to see that Bitcoin has what we intend to call intrinsic value. It may have extrinsic value in the sense that people want it. But let's just get to the juicy part where he says, Bailey was also quick to caution retail users who use Bitcoin as a means of payment, because the fact that people use Bitcoin for payments made him very nervous. That sentence right there, okay? The fact that people use Bitcoin as a means of payment makes him very nervous. Do you want to know why? Because it is circumventing the traditional system. Bitcoin is doing what it's meant to do, what it was invented for, to circumvent the traditional system. And it makes people like Mr. Bailey, the Bank of England governor, okay, which is basically the Federal Reserve chairman over there in England. It makes people like him very nervous. So continue to stack your sats. Continue to use Bitcoin as a medium of exchange to make purchases. This is what Bitcoin was made for, okay? Yes, I understand that it will go up in value over a period of time. I'm not saying go out there and spend all your Bitcoin, but every time that you are able to use your Bitcoin for a purchase, use it. This is what I do every time I go into my local stores here in my neighborhood. I always ask them if they accept Bitcoin or Litecoin, and they always, oh, you again with this Bitcoin thing. What is that? And it always starts a conversation. And I'm planting that seed in their head. Okay, so using Bitcoin, all right, makes somebody like him very nervous because they don't control it. They can't control it. And this is why they hate Bitcoin. Next, more bullish news for Bitcoin and Ether. All right, Grayscale's Ethereum Trust becomes SEC reporting company. Bitcoin ETC or ETH rally. So the SEC, or after a long, I don't know why they said this, after a long downtrend in the global crypto market that commenced in September, it was only a month. And typically September is always kind of like bearish anyway. It was only a month. Why? It's been a long, whatever. Major cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ether are inching back to their recent highs. Let me zoom in a little bit. Kind of small fonts. Yesterday, both Bitcoin and ETH rallied after news broke out that Grayscale's Ethereum Trust had officially become an SEC reporting company, while the premier cryptocurrency Bitcoin advanced to fresh 2-month highs. Ether recorded a 3-week high. And why is this important? All right, this is a voluntary filing. Should not be confused as an effort to classify Grayscale Ethereum Trust as an ETF. And this is a press release from Grayscale. They are trying to make it as regulatory friendly as possible. Okay, they're trying to show the SEC, show those regulators that they're not trying to ruffle any feathers. So this is why they're reporting things to them. Long story short, they are crossing their T's and dotting their I's. That's all Grayscale is doing here with this reporting of their Grayscale Ethereum trust. Next, IMF, World Bank, G20 countries to create central bank digital currency rules. All right, so here we are. The international financial authorities and 20 of the world's largest economies are establishing rules or establishing official standards for regulating and issuing sovereign digital currency. All right, so the G20, an organization of finance ministers and central bank governors representing the European Union and 19 other countries across every continent, said in a report today that it is working with International Monetary Fund and the World Bank and the BIS, the Bank of International for International Settlement, to formalize the use of central bank digital currencies in banking systems. According to the report, by the end of 2022, 2 years from now, by the end of 2022, all right, the G20 members, IMF, World Bank, BIS, will have completed regulatory stablecoin frameworks and research and selection of CBDC designs, technologies, and experiments. 2 years from now, I could see a Bitcoin price of over 100 grand. I could see keep the receipts, people. Keep these receipts. Watch these videos. Keep these receipts and call me out on it if it's not. I could see Tether probably being the number 2 coin because Bitcoin's price will be so high. And yes, they're waiting for 2. By the time they come up with their rules, things in the cryptocurrency space would have evolved by leaps and bounds. The way how things evolve in this space, we've seen what happened since the beginning of this year with the whole DeFi space, how it like grew and people became, again, what may seem as overnight millionaires and yield farming. And if it didn't work out, it changed, and you have your Yearn Finance and the Uniswaps and the Sushi Swaps and all these other things, and then Tron have their whole ecosystem. Like, they could wait 2 years to try to figure this thing out, and by the time they quote unquote figure it out and come up with these rules, the ecosystem would have changed. So go for it, do your thing. They are coming up with their own rules for themselves. They're not going to include the likes of quote unquote third world countries. They're not going to include poor people. Let's just call it a spade a spade. They're not going to include poor people because these banks do not cater to poor people. If you have no money, then they don't care for you. And they're coming up with their rules for themselves. Good luck with it. And we will see how it turns out in 2 years, because 3 months from now, all right, in January 2021, the space would have changed a lot again. The space changed from January to March because of what happened with the whole shutdown, then from March to June, and then from June to now. Like, this whole, it's always evolving. So take your time, come up with your rules, and we will see what happens. Next, another one bite the dust, I guess I should say, right? Bitcoin price steady as $10 billion asset manager scoops up 10,000 Bitcoin. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. But another one fell into the trap of Bitcoin again. More bullish news, people. More bullish news. Bitcoin is winning the battle of the safe havens as another corporate buy-in sees $115 million enter its books. Asset management giant StoneRidge, looked them up. I had to look them up to see who they were. They're a company out of New York here. Confirmed that it made significant purchase via its spinoff New York Digital Investment Group, NYDIG, which now has over $1 billion in assets under management. Economists, Fed must print $5 trillion in 2021. The macro backdrop against the public health backdrop has caused a lot of people to rethink their portfolio composition. The company's new CEO, Robert Gutman, told Forbes on October 13th. So, oh, he told him today. This is fresh off the press here. We're getting Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, which purchased $425 million in Bitcoin in August and September, responded as the trillions of dollars on the balance sheets of banks, asset managers, insurance firms, endowments, and family offices begin their migration to the Bitcoin universe. They will need firms like NYDIG to guide them. 1 billion down, more to go. Wow. Again, more bullish news for Bitcoin, and we're seeing that the big money, the quote unquote smart money, they're starting to enter the space. Do you have a whole Bitcoin already? If not, what are you waiting for? Not financial advice. Again, if you don't have a whole Bitcoin, what are you waiting for? Stop playing this waiting game. Not financial advice. Last but not least, speaking about Bitcoin and the dollar's shortcomings, so to speak. Short the dollar. How Goldman's bearish stance uplifts Bitcoin Q4 sentiment. So we have here Goldman Sachs. Again, Goldman Sachs came out in March with their report stating that cryptocurrencies aren't an asset, saying that Bitcoin specifically isn't an asset or an asset class. Now they're saying that Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, short the dollar. Do you see the conflicting messages that they're sending here? And also, I did a video last week where we saw that Goldman Sachs will be entering into the Bitcoin space, and they're waiting until 2021 or something to that effect. I mean, again, you could wait until then, but while you're waiting, I'm stacking my sats. And my point here is we're seeing them trying to pull the wool over our eyes, so to speak, right? Because if you dig deeper into this, right, we have in the springtime them coming out saying Bitcoin isn't an asset class, don't even look at it. But meanwhile, they are in the background shorting the dollar. They are getting into Bitcoin, right? And this is what they're telling people. They're telling us, or not us, the people that come to them because they're an investment bank. People that come to them to manage it, their wealth and their money. Don't worry about Bitcoin. It's not even an asset class. And now they're in the background while they're telling them that it's like a magician, right? Look over here at my left hand. All right, focus on my left hand while I'm doing the real trick with my right. It's just, again, more dirty banking, and this is why we in the Bitcoin space hate banks, because they've never been honest and truthful, especially when it concerns people, black people. They've never been 100% honest. So this is why I personally hate banks, and again, in the Bitcoin space, why people in the Bitcoin space hate banks, because they're dirty. That's it. They're just dirty banksters, and we don't like them. But that's it. Again, I'm gonna leave all the stories here in the description below. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to get notified when I upload the videos. And as always, thank you for the support. It's Sergeant Crypto, and I'm out. Peace.